to me earlier, and he was under the weather, so he is not going to be joining us this evening. And then Vika Seth, of course, has.
Navdeep.
Oh, sorry, Vika Seth. I don't know why I said that. I was reading your name. I apologize, but Navdeep has resigned. Thanks, John.
Interesting.
Hello, Matthew.
Welcome back, Gary. How you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
Excellent. Not bad. I guess that means my audio works all right.
It does. It sounds great.
Excellent. I wish I could change what monitor everything was in.
We're just waiting for a quorum here. Anybody have any good jokes to tell to warm up the room? I bet Matthew has some good dad jokes.
What's the best thing about Switzerland? I don't know either, but their flag is a big plus.
Here we go.
I'd go with the chocolates. It's pretty. I don't know. There's a lot to go for Switzerland.
All right. I see Rob is joining, so we've got a quorum. So good evening, everyone. It is 7:02 p.m. on November 6th, 2023. This is Gary Trendle. I hereby call our meeting to order. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, this meeting will be conducted via remote means in accordance with applicable law. This means that members of the public body, as well as members of the public, may access the meeting via virtual means. Participants may access the meeting through the remote meeting link as posted on the meeting agenda and through the town's online calendar. When required by law or allowed by the chair, persons wishing to provide public comment or otherwise participate in the meeting may do so by raising their hand or otherwise signaling their intent to speak. This meeting will be recorded. Please take care to mute your microphone unless you have been recognized by the chair. We'll now confirm attendance of members. Please respond as present if you are on the call. Rob Benson?
Yep, I'm here.
Jane Moran?
Present.
Ron Prefer is not here, but just confirming. Elise Michalowski is not here. Matthew Ronka?
Present.
Michael King?
Present.
Vika Seth Praddy?
Present.
And Navdeep Aurora is, I believe, not here either. All right, well, we have a quorum. And first, just so that everyone knows, Navdeep has decided to resign his seat on the planning board. I think he just was feeling that it was, to quote his letter, it was a bit more technical and he didn't feel entirely qualified to do so. So he has effectively resigned his seat. So we will follow our standard process. It will be an appointment for the remainder, actually until our election later in May. So I would encourage everyone that if you know of someone that you think might be a good candidate, and I would encourage you to, or I would ask that you encourage them to at least come to a meeting, or if there are people that have some prior experience, because as we all know, this is sometimes different than what we expect it's going to be. But if you have people that are interested, please encourage them to apply once the vacancy is posted. From an agenda perspective, we are going to be all administrative tonight. We have a handful of things to talk through. We do have one continued public hearing for 28 Lumber Street. And that applicant has requested a continuation to December 18th, 2023. So maybe we'll just take care of that right off the bat. But John, do we need to extend the decision date on that as well?
No, it's a site plan, so it's 90 days after the
90 days after. Okay. On that note, I will entertain a motion to continue the public hearing for 28 Lumber Street to December 18th, 2023.
So moved.
Rob, second.
All right. Assuming no further discussion, we'll go ahead and vote. Rob?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
Matthew?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Vigaseth?
Yes.
And Gary is a yes as well. All right. So on the administrative stuff, we've got 7 items here. We've got a brief introduction of potential budget requests for 2024 town meeting. We need to appoint a planning board representative for the Community Preservation Committee. We have a bond release request for 2535 Main Street. We have a bond amount establishment for Emerald Drive. We have a couple of A&Rs, and then we have minutes from October 16th. So let's go ahead and start with the budget requests. And this is, John, you want to just give us a quick background here and how much, this is the first we're talking about it. I'm hoping that what we can do is we can use this to chat a little bit and give people some time and come back at the next meeting and see if there's anything that we want to propose or move forward. Is that an appropriate way to look at this, or do you need consensus sooner than that?
Nope, that's fine. So basically what we're looking for is we're just in the beginning stages of preparing the budget for annual town meeting for the land use department, which the planning board is part of. And generally, if there's any projects that the planning board is looking to undertake in the next year, this would be the time to request the budget for those projects.
So in the past, gosh, I'm trying to think. We've requested some small amounts for things in the past. I'm drawing a blank on what they are, though. John, do you remember anything we've requested in the past?
We had talked about doing stuff for the pedestrian connectivity project. I think that actually might be it.
Okay.
Knowledge. But yeah,
affordable housing. We've talked about some requests on economic development or other studies or that kind of work. So I will say that the budget tends to be pretty tight. And this would be more for study purposes or planning purposes, report writing, that kind of thing. I'll be candid, I haven't put a ton of thought into this, but wanted to use this just to plant that seed. If anyone has ideas or thoughts now, we can go ahead and discuss it. And if not now, then I would ask folks to, if you have an idea for something that you think might be a good fit, then I'd encourage you to reach out prior to our next meeting to either John and or myself and talk through it a bit more.
Through the chair.
Yes, Jane.
I think the affordable housing issue is being handled by Zach, or at least they seem to be getting a conversation going and doing public meetings and things like that. The economic development thought that you had, it appears as though the town has hired a new post for that. So I would think that maybe the pedestrian connectivity might be a good place if we were going to have, a suggestion for some amount of money to go forward with that. As seeming as that is, it's a large topic of conversation, obviously.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And I would just clarify, Zach has been working through the MBTA housing considerations that are not necessarily affordable housing. So just to clarify your comments prior to that. But yeah, I think that's a good point, Jane. And it's something that it's an area that I think we could use a little extra muscle on. That might be an opportunity to pull in some resources. Michael?
Yeah, so I was just looking for some clarity on that. When we say pedestrian connectivity, was that the fund that kind of gets replenished every so often for extending sidewalks, or is that something different?
No, so if we're actually asking for money to build sidewalks, that would not be through our department. This is more from a planning and prioritization perspective. So we had kicked off a project a year ago, or actually probably 2 years ago now, to try to prioritize where we should build sidewalks and other forms of connectivity. And in full disclosure, it's just stalled out a little bit. And I think something we were trying to push on our own, but there's a lot of legwork and additional effort behind the scenes to not only consider different options, but to put forth a meaningful long-term plan and vision. So I think that's where if we were to hire a consultant to help us build out that long-term plan, that's something that could serve our board and the town well. Vigaseth?
Right, through the chair. Just wondering, can EV parking free charging stations for the town folks can be also considered as part of this request or no?
I don't think so. Again, that's more of I don't really know where that would be categorized, but this is,
I think it's a Green Sustainability Committee is doing something with that.
Thank you, Jane.
In fact, they might even have something at the town meeting for that.
Yeah, I think this is more around planning, there could potentially, other outside resources that we might want to pull in. If there was some professional support beyond what we already received from town hall, there could be some options for that kind of thing.
Through the chair, I don't know if we have any formal clarification, but like in the past, I think I've always thought of it as we could put in a budget request to basically be more informed or more inform the town more, or anything we want to do in terms of understanding how the growth impacts the town or anything like that. But if it's actually to build something like an EV charger or to build a sidewalk, that's not this process.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. So I think if you have other ideas, or if you're in your conversations with people, if there's other things that you think might warrant a line item or a proposed line item in our budget, let John and myself know. All right, next order of business, Community Preservation Committee. So this is everyone familiar with Community Preservation Committee and what they do? Basically, just to sort of summarize, Hopkinton, by contributing a certain percentage of our tax revenue towards CPC funding, the state provides a match. That match varies, but what it does is it gives us some additional state money excuse me, of which can be spent on a variety of different assets for the town, whether that be in terms of some recreational facilities, preservation of historic records, cemetery restoration, things like the playground at EMC Park was funded through CPC. It's a separate committee that runs that fund. They operate on a seasonal basis, so they're kicking off their process, their season now, and that is in order to bring forward their recommendations for how we spend the CPC money at town meeting next year. And so the planning board has the opportunity to appoint someone to that committee. And that was previously, I've held it in the past, and I think most recently was it Mary that was doing that?
Mary.
Yeah. Thank you, Jane. I am looking for a nomination or a volunteer that has interest in serving as a planning board rep on the CPC.
I'll do it if no one else wants it.
Are you regretting that, Jane?
It's time, you know.
It is time.
It is time. Research, and it's knowing what everyone else is about, but
yeah,
it's an
I will
decision.
say it's a fun committee to serve on, because you literally have a pot of money that you get to go figure out how to use and best serve the town. And it's something I wish I had more time right now, and as I've just changed jobs, it's something that I would consider doing, because I it's an interesting one, and there's some fairly significant money that they have access to, like I said, across recreation and preservation and affordable housing. It's a variety of different buckets, but Jane, so I guess maybe to formalize this, I will nominate Jane Moran for planning board representation to CPC.
Second.
Is there anyone else that has any interest? All right, I guess we have a motion on the table, so I guess we should go ahead and vote on that. Rob, how do you vote?
Yes.
Matthew?
Yes, and thank you, Jane, for volunteering.
Elise, I see
You're up next.
Yes, I'm here, and I vote yes for Jane.
Thank you. Michael?
Yep, I vote yes.
Vickasith?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
And Gary is a yes as well. So thank you, Jane. I appreciate it.
Okay.
One more night of the week, a couple times a month.
Yeah.
All right. Next up for us is 2535 Main Street bond release request. Just go through my notes here. John, do you want to give us an update on this? What's before us?
Yep. So 2535, the residential units behind the two large office buildings downtown, the two mansions, and the town parking lot are part of this project. And so it is complete. The residential units have been built. The parking lot has been conveyed over to the town. And so construction is basically complete. And they had a $10,000 bond for the construction period. And they are looking for that back.
It's a very inexpensive bond, isn't it?
I think it was just to cover like erosion control and that kind of stuff.
Okay, got it. Any questions from folks about this? All right, seeing none, then I guess I will entertain a motion to release the bond of $10,000 for 2535 Main Street.
So moved.
Rob,
Second.
second.
Right? So, no further discussion. Rob, how do you vote?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
Matthew?
Yes.
Elise?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Vikaseth?
Yes.
And Gary is a yes as well. So that carries. And it's a nice parking lot, and I've personally found it useful myself. So there's always tends to be spots back there. So encourage people to check it out. Emerald Drive bond amount establishment. John, do you want to give us the background on this?
Yep. So Emerald Drive, Connolly Farm, is what it used to be called. So that was the open space landscape preservation development off of Hayden Row. They have constructed the road. Beta has reviewed. They prepared a Form G, which outlined the remaining work left. And Beta reviewed, made their own estimate. There was a little back and forth. Some work had been done that wasn't captured in Beta's estimate, so Beta revised that. And I believe, I don't know if Phil is on the phone, but I believe the amount is $193,900 is what Beta recommended.
Okay. And I see the nations are on here. I don't know, or if anybody representing the builder wants to comment or provide their perspective on this revised amount.
To the chair, Chris Nation, I can take that. Yes,
Go ahead, Chris.
I am happy with this amount. This works for us. If you vote to accept this amount, I will work towards getting the bond to John as soon as I'm able, which would happen fairly quickly. That and then Form K or lot release, you're releasing 2 lots at the same time.
Okay. Thanks, Chris. And we'll go ahead and let's cover the bond release first. Any questions about that? It's I don't know if people had a chance to take a look at it, but it's predominantly asphalt, sidewalk, some trail, signs, granite bounds, site plantings, and riprap. And then there's some contingency of 20% above the estimated costs to cover any additional expenses there. All right, if there's no questions, then I will entertain a motion to shoot, I lost my, make sure I get the language right here. All right, I'll entertain a motion to establish a bond for Emerald Drive, formerly Connolly Farm, in the amount of $193,300. Did I get that right?
No.
$193,900.
Oh, sorry. Can't flip screens fast enough here. $193,900.
So moved.
So, second, Matthew Vronka.
All right. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Rob, how do you vote?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
Matthew?
Yes.
Elise?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Vikasith?
Yes.
And Gary is a yes as well. So that motion carries unanimously. And then on to the A&Rs for 6. I guess, sorry, the first one. For 6 Emerald Ave. John, do you want to give us a quick update, and then we'll go back to Chris for any additional clarification on this?
Sure. Let me just share the plan. Okay, so and correct me if I'm wrong, Chris and Joe. This is lot 6, or now known as lot 6A, formerly lot 6. The original lot line is the dotted line here, and it looks like it. Can you see my cursor?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the dark line is the new line. So this parcel A is 69 square feet. And then parcel B down here is 414 square feet. And same thing, the dotted line is the old lot line, and it goes all the way up here. And the dark line is the new lot line. And so this parcel B, and how did I write this? Parcel B is going to lot 6A, coming from lot 7A. And parcel A is coming from lot 5A, going to lot 6A. So basically lot 6A is getting a little bit bigger on both sides, and lot 5A and lot 7A are getting a little bit smaller.
All right. Chris or Joe, I'm always just curious to hear what prompts these what appear to be very small changes. Can you share any additional details?
Sure. The house on lot 6 that was chosen to be constructed is a little wider side to side than the house we put forth with the conceptual drawings. We need a little bit more room. So 6 gets a little bit wider.
Yep, got it. Thank you. Appreciate that. Any questions about this? All right. Seeing none, I will entertain a motion that the planning board endorse this A&R plan for 6 Emerald Avenue.
So moved.
Rob Benson, second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, Rob, how do you vote?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
Matthew?
Yes.
Elise?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Vicasees?
Yes.
And Gary is a yes as well, so that carries unanimously. And then I guess the last one for us is Elmwood Farms A&R. So, John, do you want to give us a quick summary of this? And then I don't know if I see Ted is on, so but why don't you go ahead and describe what's before us, and then we'll hand over to Ted.
Sure. So, sorry, this is Connolly, mixing up the names. This is Elmwood Farms 3. Most people know it as Blueberry Lane. So just a little background, Blueberry Lane, most of it was constructed back in the late 80s, early 90s. Toll Brothers has purchased the remaining lots, basically surrounded by Fitch Ave, Myrtle Ave, and formerly Adams Street. So what you're seeing on your screen is an outdated version of the plan, because Adams Street and Myrtle Ave are spelled wrong. But that's the only change. We've got a new Mylar in the office that you're going to sign with the corrected names. So basically what's happening is, since the original subdivision was approved, the wetlands have changed and certain requirements have changed to basically say these 4 lots are no longer buildable. These 2 lots are still buildable, but the Concom does not want Adams Street to exist anymore. So this plan is eliminating Adams Street. It is making these 4 lots and this portion of Adams Street into 1 lot that will have a CR placed on it. It is taking Adams Street and giving it to this lot and modifying the lot size of this lot. So it's not creating any new lots. It's basically combining existing lots into 1 for the purposes of a CR.
Okay. John, can you zoom in on the locust here? I was just over running on Blueberry tonight, and I always get mixed up as to where exactly this is. Okay. All right. Thank you. And that locus doesn't show the Myrtle Ave and Fitch Ave though, does it?
Yes.
Does it?
So this is Myrtle. This is Fitch. This is
Ah,
Adams.
okay. Got it. So that's where Adams goes away.
Mhm.
Okay. Ted, anything to add to John's very nice summary there?
No, I don't think so. I think he summed it up pretty well. Not much to add.
Okay. And so how many buildable lots total are we looking at here?
20.
How many?
20 in total.
20 in total.
Yep.
Okay. Questions about this? And just to remind folks, this was actually previously approved some time back, and that's why it has not come before us as a subdivision plan, because it was previously approved and construction was previously started with that neighborhood.
Just one through the chair.
Yeah, go ahead, Jane.
I know over the years, there's been a lot of conversation about a right of way for trails, somehow to get through that. And I was wondering if there's been any updates or anything that Ted can add to that.
Ted?
There has been some discussion of there's a parcel not shown on this map being deeded over to the town. So we're in conversations about that. Again, we have not, I think a little bit of a misstatement by John earlier. We have not purchased these yet. We're under contract to purchase them, but haven't done it yet. And we're discussing deeding that parcel over to the town for that purpose. It's not shown here on the map.
And Jane, that would be the connector from Elmwood and from EMC Park
Correct.
down to
get through to Fitch, right?
Yeah.
And if that is still a doable option with this plan.
I don't believe that this A&R has any impact on that plan.
Thank you.
Correct? Is that right, Ted? Just want to make sure I'm not misspeaking.
Yes, that's
there.
correct.
Okay. But good question, Jane. I appreciate you asking about it. I think that's going to be a great little connector there for that entire neighborhood. So
I believe, yeah, you're right.
All right. Any further questions? All right, seeing none, I will entertain a motion to endorse the A&R for lots 41, 48, 49, and 53 on Elmwood Farms 3, Toll Brothers.
So moved.
Rob, second.
All right, assuming no further discussion, Rob, how do you vote?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
Matthew?
Yes.
Vikasith?
Yes.
Elise?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And Gary is a yes as well. So that motion carries.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Ted. All right, and then the last item on our agenda tonight is minutes from October 16th. John, excellent job.
Thank you. I'm very excited to tell you that this is going to be, knock on wood, the last time I'm taking minutes for a while. We will have a new person taking minutes the next meeting.
That's great. Can you share who that person will be, or is that not quite? No,
because she's going to go before the select board, I think tomorrow.
Okay. Great. Well, I will entertain a motion to accept the meeting minutes from October 16th, 2023.
So moved.
Rob, second.
All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, Rob, how do you vote?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
Matthew?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Elise?
Yes.
Vikaseth?
Yes.
And Gary is a yes as well. All right. Well, appreciate everyone's efficiency here this evening. We are next up November 20th, which is the Monday of Thanksgiving holiday. So we'll plan to see all of you back on Zoom. But at this point, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Rob, second.
So we no further discussion. Rob, how do you vote?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
Matthew?
Yes.
Elise?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Vikaseth?
Yes.
Gary is a yes as well. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Right.
Have a good night.
Everyone.